So the first of these two initiatives, which is 638, it's technically the full is IL 26-638. It is going to gauge whether keeping biological boys out of girls' sports is actually an 80-20 issue. It would prohibit students it defines as biologically male from competing with or against female students in interscholastic activities that are intended for female students only. To me, it really is a litmus test of whether you have good plain common sense or you don't. This, to me, is going to be a gauge on whether Washington State is salvageable. If Let's Go Washington cannot get enough signatures on this to qualify it, to send it to the legislature, I don't know if Washington State is salvageable. And to any members of the media, of the mainstream media, who actually want to cover this issue fairly, there is no shortage of young female athletes in the state of Washington who are willing to speak up about it, who are willing to come do interviews with you and tell you how this issue is impacting them. In fact, we featured two of them on Truth Tellers while we were on vacation, Frances Stout and Annalie Wilson, who have become such important voices in this debate, both female athletes who have taken a stand for themselves and against the state leaders who continue to thrust biological boys into girls' spaces. What is that like for you as a young woman to see our state leaders oppose protecting you?
It's frustrating, and it just feels like totally like what about us? Like, I get you're trying to help them, but you're ignoring a whole other group.
I do have an issue with our state school superintendent, Chris Reichdahl. I think that he has failed us as students and athletes, and you can't live in this false world and hide away and say, oh, this isn't going on, and put yourself in the eyes of a high school student who is trying to get through her 4 years and play the sports that she enjoys and have a safe space to change in a locker room without having someone of the opposite sex look at her.
So now we have an opportunity, the common sense people of Washington State, to do what should have been done all along. To say, no, if you're a biological boy, you can't compete against girls. And so that is going to be through this initiative. Now, there are two initiatives that Let's Go Washington has released. That's one of them. The other is IL 26-001. What would this do? Well, we're going to give the old parental rights another shot. Remember one of the last initiatives that Let's Go Washington had put forth, gathered enough signatures for, was successfully sent to the legislature, that the legislature passed into law, was the Parental Bill of Rights. And what did they do? They came back the next year, last year, and they gutted it. Well, actually, that was technically this year, right? Gosh, time flies. They gutted it. So this is Let's Go Washington saying, we don't care if you want to call us transphobes. We're going to continue to say and to believe that parents are the primary stakeholders in their kids' lives, and they have a right to know what's going on with schools, with their kids in school. And so I'm so happy that Let's Go Washington is not going to just back away from this and let it go, because the left has painted it as, if you support this, you're a transphobe. Because I think too often conservatives and moderate people have just scurried whenever anyone wants to throw a scary label at them. And Let's Go Washington is saying, we're not scurrying. As parents, we're not going to be painted as transphobes because we want to know what's happening with our kids. So IL 26-001 would say, okay, let's reinstate the Parental Bill of Rights as it was in the form it was initially sent to the legislature the first time we tried this, before they went back and upended it.